Good morning, YouTube. We got a pull day today. Got an early morning start. It is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
So we're gonna hit some deadlifts, a lot of rows, pull downs, unilateral, bilateral, a little bit of everything. But we're gonna get the early morning workout in. We're gonna get after it.
Estás viendo el doble tanda, blanco y negro, te manda, americano, con el que te manda, la ofenda, pero no pasa nada para gente como ustedes, estoy buscándome el dinero todos los días como yo, que a quién va. Cada vez que hizo una cabita, el beat. El primero rico que hace con el pizza. Sacamos el tema, palpón para arriba del lista.
Probably the coolest thing is the Kabuki strength trap bar. Has a self-built-in jack, differing grip options, and differing height options as well. Probably the best trap bar I've ever tried. Hey, love. Little trick, buy like a $8 gait belt and use it on the machines so your hips stay in place when you do hamstrings, legs, shoulder presses, pull downs. Makes a big difference. Naturally, as you're pulling yourself, trying to pull your hamstrings into that last bit of flexion, you're going to pull your torso off the seat some. So using the gait belt helps a lot in terms of keeping your hips in position so you get a more consistent contraction out of your hamstrings. Drop set, I'm gonna work on slow tempos both ways, trying to just control the weight the whole time. Pull day, gonna warm up the upper back now. Hit a couple sets here, lighter weight, just get some blood flow into the upper back, and then we'll start getting pretty heavy. I'm focused a lot more on kind of a more narrow neutral grip position for this first couple sets. And as we start to fatigue a little bit more, I'll go more elbows out, pronated, do a little bit more rear delt shoulder, but lats are primary. Just because it's a warm-up set doesn't mean it's a light set. Trying to lift still with the heaviest weight I can to feel the right amount of activation. Once that activation increases, we'll get the weight up. Been prioritizing more of a supinated pull down variation along with unilateral variations, just because it's going to keep the lat under tension and under load really for a longer portion of the movement. Kind of going from like full extension to the top, getting a deeper stretch, and then not as strong of a contraction at the bottom as a pronated, but with the pronated, your lat is actually just not active as long. You're getting a little bit more shoulder in there, so keeping the elbows kind of in towards the body, deeper stretch at the top, more tension, initiating from the lat for a longer range of motion. That's kind of the big difference between supinating and pronating. One thing to really look out for too is when you're doing pull downs, if you're not really ratcheted in, or well, even if you are, if your rib cage is moving a lot during that pull down, 1, 2, 3 inches takes away from how much that lat is having to travel. So if your rib cage is flaring up when you're coming up into extension, and then you're pulling back down and pulling that rib cage down, you're actually just not utilizing the lat to the greatest range of motion that you possibly could. So we've gone supinated and neutral. Now we're gonna go single arm. Make sure everything's firing left and right symmetrically. Same concept. When we're going into overhead extension, allowing for supination, not pronation, right? Because pronation, you can get a lot of hanging tension into the joints and ligaments, but if you're supinating, you're actually keeping that lat under tension. So if you can, in a perfect world, we're gonna start off with supination, pull into more of a neutral, and maybe finish with a little pronation, as opposed to a lot of people do the reverse. They start pronated because that's really comfortable. Then as they pull down, they might pull fully into like supination. Part of that's going to be because they feel more bicep, or that is just, again, more comfortable, but less ideal for the lats. When going through that rotation, we want to think about, as we're supinating and getting overhead, you want to feel that lat actually like, as if it's wrapping around your rib cage, reaching towards the front of your body, kind of coming over from that maintained supinated position. And as we come down, we're pulling that lat into length in the already most lengthened position. Did a couple sets with the landmine or the T-bar row set up on the heavier side, 3 plates, then went back down to 2 plates, and just getting a lot of volume work, pump work, trying to feel a lot of blood flow into the upper back. Now we're going to switch to some wider grip shoulder work, get some biceps, and then be done. All better.
One forever on the deal called me after it. It's like, I'm like, wow, I'm using this hamstring.
Inside job.